This is Major League Baseball's virtual network. Hello and welcome to Miller Park. My name's Nicholas Callis, and we have an NL Central matchup here this afternoon. It's the Chicago Cubs playing the Milwaukee Brewers. These two teams tied right now in the NL Central standings for second place. We'll see how they do coming up next. There's Freddie Peralta on the mound for the Brewers in this one. 3-2 in 10 starts this season and a respectable ERA. A 3.17 ERA entering play in 48 and a third innings pitched. Leading off for the Cubs will be Kris Bryant. Bryant had a better month of April than a month of May in terms of average, but his production's been consistent. One more RBI in this month, and there's still a week left to go in May. Bryant, the starting third baseman in today's game. First pitch coming. And this day starts off with a ball. The count's 1-0. The Brewers are tied for second with the Cubs with a 25-28 record. Both of these teams have struggled in the month of May. They've had extended losing streaks. As that pitch is hit to left field, and early scoring for the Cubs. That ball is gone. Kris Bryant leads the ball game off with a home run, his 11th of the season. 1-0 Cubs in the first. Ooh, that's a hanging breaking ball. Absolutely. That one was left right over the heart of the plate. And it went over 400 feet into the seats. That's what happens. Here's Anthony Rizzo. 242 average with 8 home runs and 18 RBIs entering play. Also been getting on base, has a 348 on base percentage. Not too poor. But the Brewers were in first place and the Cubs were in second place heading into May. And they both were losing games, so the Brewers still stayed in first place, and the Cubs couldn't capitalize on the Brewers losing. But then the Cardinals came up and got hot, and so the Cardinals took first place from the Brewers, and the Cubs subsequently moved from second to third place. The Cardinals are the only team right now in the NL Central with a winning percentage over 500. Their record's 27-26. Then you have the Reds in fourth place. The Reds were bouncing back between fourth place, third place, and second place all month. But right now the Reds are in fourth place with a 23-28 record. They're 3 games back of the division lead as that pitch is fouled off. And then you have the Pirates, the outlier in this division. The Pirates haven't made it to 20 wins yet. They're 18-33, and they're 8 games back of first place. Freddie Peralta rebounds nicely, gets a strikeout following the home run. 1 out in the first.
The shortstop, Javier Baez.
Javier Baez coming to the plate now. Baez, the shortstop of this team and the number 3 hitter. Rips that pitch down the left field line, but that'll go foul. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Hit in the air to left field. That's going to tail foul, but that was hit a long way. Counts quickly 0-2. Baez tied for 7th in hits in the National League as he grounds that toward first. Played by Justin Smoak. There are 2 outs. And with that, we'll take a look at the starting lineup for the Cubs in this one. Kris Bryant being a leadoff hitter now. That's something that he hasn't been too used to in his career. Other than that, nobody really different on the team. This lineup's had a core for a number of years now. Ever since they won the World Series in 2016, those same core players have really been around. Daniel Descalso was not a part of that core World Series team, but he's been on the Cubs now for over a year. He signed a couple seasons ago in free agency. Against the shift, Kyle Schwarber has himself a 2-out single. mean, that ball just found a gap. You see the infield shifted, anticipating him to pull the ball. Not only does he not pull it, but he finds a way to sneak it through the middle of the infield, get himself a hit. That'll bring up Wilson Contreras. 2 outs, runner on first, and Freddie Peralta throws ball 1 to him. Contreras, .310 average with 8 home runs and 33 RBIs. And that .948 on-base percentage plus slugging percentage total is good for 13th in the National League. Swing and a miss, strike 1. And that average is the highest on the Cubs. Contreras made his debut in 2016 and started regularly in the World Series. Him and David Ross were platoon catchers. That ball's going to split the gap. That might clear the wall. It's gone. Well, how about that? I just thought that was going to be a gap shot, but the ball just kept carrying. Second home run of the inning for the Cubs. It's 3-0. I mean, we're getting to that point now where the weather's warming up. 70, 80-degree days, and it is a day game here. The roof's open, so the atmosphere allows for balls to carry. It's not too windy either here at Miller Park. The Brewers haven't had a chance to bat yet, and they're already down 3 runs. Here's Jason Hayward. That finds the zone up high, counts 1-1. Hayward been hot in his last 20 at-bats. He's gotten 7 hits, good for a .350 average over his last 6 games. That's down low, counts 2-1. This is game 3 of a 3-game series, and it's the rubber match. The Brewers won game 1 and the Cubs won game 2. Ground ball right side. That stays fair. It went over the bag. Smoke flips to Peralta covering, and that ends the top of the first. Meanwhile, the Cubs got 3 runs on 2 home runs. And after a half inning, it's the Cubs 3 and the Brewers coming to bat. Here's Jose Quintana. He's on the mound for the Cubs in this one. His last outing was against the Pirates in the middle of last week, and he didn't last very long. Earned him his 5th loss. He's 2-5 in 10 starts, and his ERA is north of 5. His ERA was around the high 3s, low 4s going into that game against the Pirates, but because of that poor start, his ERA is now close to 6. Eric Sogard leads off for the Brewers, and he takes ball 1. The Cubs are 25-28, and unlike that graphic says, the Cubs are tied with the Brewers for second place. They each have the same record, they're the same amount of games back of the Cardinals for first place. Check swing, but that's in the zone, counts 1-1. Chris Bryant led off the first with a solo home run, and Wilson Contreras with 2 outs hit a 2-run home run. And it's 3-0 early. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss.
I got the count 1 and 2.
The count's 1 and 2. That just missed. Well-placed pitch, but good discipline by Sogard. The count evens out, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Got him to chase it. And that's out number 1. Here comes Lorenzo Cain. .310 average with 3 home runs and 12 RBIs entering today's game. Unsurprisingly, won a Gold Glove as a center fielder last season. He's always been known to be a good defender, but when he came to the Brewers for the first time in 2018, he seemed to be robbing home runs all the time and really demonstrated how great of an outfielder he is. Bryant makes the play. There's 2 outs. Here's the starting lineup for the Brewers. Keston Hiura is there in the middle of the order again. He was on the injured list got hurt after a couple games to start the season, but now he's back batting fifth. He's one of their younger infielders and performed so well coming up last season that now he has the opportunity to start this season, and he's been doing well. But we'll talk more about him when he comes up to bat. Here's Christian Yelich, who's toward the top of many leaderboards in the National League. Grounds out one toward the middle, but Quintana stabs it, throws to Rizzo, and that ends the first inning. The Brewers don't respond to the 3-run inning the Cubs put up. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on in that half of the inning. As we go to the second inning, it's the Cubs 3 and the Brewers 0. Major League Baseball's virtual network is bringing you coverage of this NL Central baseball game. It's the Cubs and the Brewers. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Cubs to begin this inning. Ian Happ, Daniel Descalso, and then Quintana in the pitcher spot. Popped up toward the line and right, and the infield and the outfield were shifted, so Yelich is able to make that play. 1 pitch, 1 out. Starts the second inning, and we'll take a look at the starting defense for the Brewers. Ryan Braun in left, Lorenzo Cain in center, a Gold Glove Award winner last year. Christian Yelich in right, then Sogard's at third, Arcia's at second, Hierra's at first, or at second, and Justin Smoke's at first. Behind the plate, Manny Pena. The Brewers got to grace Yasmani Grandal as their starting catcher last season. He signed a 1-year deal after spending a few seasons with the Dodgers. Went back into free agency and decided to sign with the White Sox. The White Sox have been doing quite well this season. A lot of pieces coming together for them. And they're in first place right now in the American League Central. Counts even 1-1. Daniel Descalso at the plate now after Ian Happ flew out on 1 pitch. Counts 2-1. Descalso has played for a few teams in his career. The Cardinals, who made it to the World Series in 2013 with him on the team. Played for the Diamondbacks. Second baseman for them. And now he's playing for the Cubs, a team that has needed some middle infield help over the years. So Descalso playing second base for them. The Cubs had signed Jason Kipnis to a minor league deal, and he ended up making the team, but he got hurt. So now Descalso filling in as the everyday second baseman as that pitch is fouled off. You also have Nico Horner, who's one of the top prospects on the Cubs. He's naturally a shortstop, but he has filled in as a second baseman last season. And he could be used as well throughout the year. But it's been Descalso who's been their choice ever since Kipnis got hurt.
Batting ninth, the pitcher, number
Descalso strikes out there. And with 2 outs, that'll bring up the pitcher spot. The number 9 spot, Jose Quintana coming up to the plate. Two outs, base is empty, and he takes ball 1. Quintana, a couple RBIs this season, along with a .333 average. Not too bad. Swing and a miss. The count is even at 1. Quintana was acquired from the White Sox, and one of the big pieces that went to the White Sox from the Cubs was Eloy Jimenez. And Jimenez now the starting left fielder of the White Sox. But Quintana had struggled there and then had a good season. And he was valuable enough to be acquired from the White Sox to play for the Cubs. Cubs who needed some bolstering in their rotation. And so far he's done the job too. I mean, he's been a good pitcher. And his ERA right now isn't representative of how talented he is. He's just had a slower start to this year as usual. Not as usual, slower start to this year, which is unusual. He's mugging this plate appearance out. Counts even 2-2. Freddie Peralta gave up 3 runs in the first inning, got 2 quick outs in the second. That doesn't find the zone. The count's full 3-2. Chris Bryant is on deck. And he would bat should Quintana reach. Got him swinging on the 3-2, and the inning is over. The Cubs, no runs on no hits and nobody left on base. Heading to the bottom of the second inning, it's the Cubs 3 and the Brewers 0. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. In the bottom of the second inning, the Brewers will send 4, 5, 6 hitters to the plate. Brian Braun, Keston Hiura, and Justin Smoke. Brian Braun playing exceptionally so far in 2020 as he hits that pitch foul. The count's 0-1. Braun is the cleanup hitter consistently this season, batting .320 with 4 home runs and 31 RBIs. Counts even at 1. Braun in the top 20 for RBIs in the National League. His teammate Christian Yelich has 39 RBIs, good for second best. Hit well toward left field, but that hangs up there enough for Kyle Schwarber to run it down, and that's the first out of the bottom of the second. And with that, here's the starting defense for the Cubs. Schwarber's in left, Haps in center, Hayward's in right, Bryant at third base, Baez at shortstop, Descalso at second, Gold Glove Award winner last year, Rizzo's at first, and Contreras behind the plate. 11th in the National League in fielding percentage, .988 as a team. Here's Keston Hiura standing in. Takes ball 1. He was activated off the injured list a few days ago. Got hurt right as the season began. Ground ball left side and foul. The count's even at 1. In his timeout, Brock Holt was the starting second baseman, and he did well. The Brewers have some versatility on the team now, a bunch of players that can be plugged into different positions. Holt was signed as a utility person, but had to be the starter because so many players got hurt. Jed Jorko is still on the injured list for the Brewers. He got hurt early in the season as well. His injury was just a bit more complicated, so he's still there as Hiura strikes out. But the Brewers have Ryan Healy on the bench now, as is Brock Holt. Both of those players are versatile infielders. Holt's a utility player in general. He can play the infield and the outfield. And Justin Smoke comes to the plate. Justin Smoke, 198 career home runs, 7 of which were hit this year. He's been around the league for a few seasons. He's played for the Mariners, the Blue Jays, and now entering his first season with the Brewers. It's that pitch foul. The count's 1-2. He's a switch hitter batting from the right side of the plate. He has a tendency to hit for more contact from the right side and hit for more power from the left side. 2-2 pitch coming. That's inside, and the count's run full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Catcher Manny Piña's on deck. He would hit next if Smoke could reach base. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Soft line drive, caught in foul territory by Anthony Rizzo, and that ends the second inning. The Brewers get no runs on no hits, and there were no runners left on base. After 2 full innings, it's the Cubs 3 and the Brewers 0. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. The third inning begins with the Cubs top of the order: Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, and Javier Baez. Chris Bryant hit a home run in his first at bat. He's third on the team with 24 RBIs now. His home run began scoring in this one. It led to a Cubs 3-run first inning. Wilson Contreras hit a home run in the first inning as well. It was a 2-run home run. Well, let's open up the team leaders in hits this season. Chris Bryant has 2 this game, so his total's been bumped up to 53. Still 5 behind Javier Baez, though. So nobody out, leadoff single. Chris Bryant's 2 for 2, and that'll bring up Anthony Rizzo, who's 0 for 1. He struck out against Peralta in his first at bat. Ever since 2016, Rizzo's been a bit inconsistent with his bat. Still definitely has power potential and not a poor contact hitter either, but he's definitely struggled with consistency. He was a 6th round pick in 2007. He made his debut with the San Diego Padres.
1-1.
In the offseason, he got traded to the Cubs, and he's been here ever since, and he's been their first baseman ever since the 2012 season.
Oh, that's off the plate.
And, of course, he was one of many foundational members of this team that helped win the 2016 World Series. 2-1 pitch. That misses high. Counts 3-1.
The count is 3-1.
Javier Baez is on deck. Cubs still have several dangerous hitters in their lineup. Javier Baez, one of them. Wilson Contreras, another. Kyle Schwarber, a power left-handed bat. And Rizzo in his discipline. He works a walk, and that's Craig Counsell in the Brewers dugout. He's got some words to say after that pitch. From the strike zone we have on screen, it looked to clip it, but Peralta didn't get the call. And he's got some problems here in the third. Bryant on second, Rizzo on first. Here's Javier Baez. He takes ball 1.
Ball 1, no strike.
Peralta struggled in the first inning. Had a 1-2-3 second, and now he's here in the third with some traffic. 1-0 pitch. That's outside, counts even 1-1. Baez is 0 for 1. Coming into his second at bat already here in the third inning. The Cubs got 6 batters to hit in the first inning and then went down 1-2-3 in the second. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, check swing, no appeal. Counts 2-1. Baez entering play, batting .296 with 5 home runs and 20 RBIs. Hit low to the right side, but not in play. That'll reach the seats, and the count evens up 2 balls and 2 strikes. Even count pitch. Here it comes from Peralta. Hit well, softly, as a matter of fact, toward left field. Ryan Braun's able to run that down. My depth perception was off there. I thought that was hit harder than it was, but Braun able to run it down. And that's the first out of the third inning. That'll bring up Kyle Schwarber. He singled and scored on the Wilson Contreras home run. That was back in the first inning. This is his second plate appearance. Swing and a miss, counts 0-1. So this is game 3 of a 3-game series, and it's the rubber match. Each team's won a game. And the winner of this game will be in second place in the NL Central heading into tomorrow. But these two teams right now tied for second place. They each have a 25-28 record. That's in the dirt. Almost got away from Pena, but he gets a hand on it and keeps the runners from advancing. Counts 1-2. But both the Brewers and the Cubs are 2 games back of the Cardinals for first place. The NL Central went from one of the most competitive divisions in all of baseball to one of the weaker divisions. Again, the Cardinals are the only team in the NL Central this year with a winning percentage over .500 as Schwarber gets his second base hit. Throw right into second, and Rizzo is safe. So the bases are loaded. Chris Bryant's on third, Anthony Rizzo's on second, Kyle Schwarber's on first, and now a meeting at the mound. Freddie Peralta at 50 pitches now. He's given up 3 runs, and the Cubs with a prime opportunity to put up some more. Corbin Burns is now warming up in the bullpen for the Brewers as Peralta throws ball 1. Contreras is 3 for 7 in the series, and the home run he hit in the first got him 2 of 4 RBIs he now has in the entire series. Breaking ball can't find the zone, and a hitter's count here. Peralta continuing to back himself into a corner. That can't find the zone either. Pena trying to calm Peralta down as you see Corbin Burns there warming up in the bullpen. Craig Counsell trusting Peralta to work out of this mess. But even if he gets out of this inning, he might not see the fourth. Contreras swung 3-0 and softly hits it toward the right side. That's a foul ball. Contreras still ahead in the count. 3 balls and 1 strike. Ooh, chased a low pitch. The count's full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Definitely a pivotal moment here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bases loaded. Hit in the air toward right field. Yelich running back for it. Bryant tagging at third. Catch made by Yelich. Bryant will come in to score from third, and Rizzo advances from second to third on the play. Sacrifice fly for Wilson Contreras gets him his 3rd RBI of the game. It's 4-0 Cubs. A pitch was left over the middle, and Peralta can be thankful that wasn't worse. Contreras just a bit late on it, but gets it in the air out to the outfield deep enough for Bryant to score from third base. So now runners on first and third, 2 outs. Here comes Jason Hayward. He's hitless in the series. That's a strike, counts 0-1. That isn't entirely accurate. Jason Hayward was not acquired from St. Louis in 2015. Jason Hayward signed as a free agent with the Cubs in the 2015-16 offseason. 0-1 pitch. That's too high. Counts even 1-1. Jason Hayward got a rather large contract. He made his debut with the Braves in 2010, played there from 2010 to 2014. Then was traded to the Cardinals, and he was a rental. Got to play there for a season, helped the Cardinals to an 101-win season. And then signed with the Cardinals' division rivals, the Cubs. And Hayward's been here since 2016. Played his first season in 2016 and got himself a ring with the Cubs, his first World Series win of his career. Counts even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Upstairs, the count's full, 3-2. Schwarber should be running from first base. And Ian Happ's on deck. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on the corners. Schwarber goes from first. And Hayward hits that in the air. Into left. Braun able to play that one perfectly. And the top of the third's over. The Cubs get a run, though, on a Wilson Contreras sacrifice fly. Going to the bottom of the third, it's the Cubs 4 and the Brewers 0. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Gallis. Bottom of the Brewers order coming up to bat. Manny Pena, the first of the hitters to come up. Freddie Peralta in the pitcher's spot is due up 9th. But Corbin Burns has been warming up in the Brewers bullpen ever since the 3rd inning. So Peralta might not hit. He struggled in the first 3 innings. Gave up 3 runs in the first inning on 2 home runs. Pitched a scoreless second, but then gave up a run in the 3rd, and it could have been worse. The Cubs had the bases loaded and 1 out. So he's throwing some high-intensity pitches early, which might yield him an early exit. But here's Quintana on the mound for the Cubs. Bottom of the 3rd getting underway, and that pitch struck well, but that's way foul down the left field line. Counts 1-2. On the ground foul, the count's still 1-2. Manny Pena, the starting catcher of this Brewers team. Again, fouls that pitch off, keeps the plate appearance going. Counts 1-2. Quintana got through the first and second innings relatively quickly. As you see there, he's under 30 pitches coming into the 3rd inning. Counts even 2-2 as that pitch hits the dirt. Two balls, two strikes. Got him to swing and miss. Quintana with another strikeout, his third of the game. That's out number one. Here comes Orlando Arcia. 235 average with 6 home runs and 23 RBIs entering play. This is his first plate appearance of the game. Strike one. Arcia just 4 for 29 against Quintana. Has struck out 6 times. Quintana's been playing for the Cubs for a few seasons now, so he's seen the Brewers plenty of times, and Arcia has been their starting shortstop for several years. Great defensive player and is producing well this year. The average isn't too high, but he's got a healthy amount of RBIs. The count's 1-2. It's hard to believe, too, that this is the last full week where we'll see May. June starts on Monday of next week.
2-2.
Two balls, two strikes. Swing and a miss. Quintana starts this third inning with 2 strikeouts. That's out number 2, and the pitcher spot 2 up next. Not sure who we're going to see. Freddie Peralta is going to bat. Quite a surprising move by Craig Counsell. Corbin Burns has sat down. He's not throwing in the bullpen anymore, so Peralta expected to go out there for a 4th inning. A 1 pitch from Quintana. Off-speed pitch. Got him to swing and miss. No balls, 2 strikes. Got him on strikes. Jose Quintana strikes out the side to end the 3rd inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left on for the Brewers. Going to inning 4. It's the Cubs 4 and the Brewers 0. This is Major League Baseball's virtual network. My name's Nicholas Callis, and on your screen is Heidi Watney. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20. Jose Quintana is swinging a bat. Isn't that amazing? And there's David Ross, the manager, talking with another guy. The Cubs leading 4-0, though, coming into the 4th inning. 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Cubs. Ian Happ, Daniel Descalzo, and then Jose Quintana in the pitcher spot. Up 3rd in this inning. Freddie Peralta has struggled through the first 3 innings, though so far the even innings have been better for him than the odd innings. He's given up runs in the 1st and 3rd innings. Pitched a scoreless 2nd. But now he's out here in the 4th inning, already above 60 pitches. And he falls behind Happ 2-0. Ian Happ, a switch hitter, batting from the left side. And as you see the day progressing here, Miller Park's retractable roof is open today. And the shadows are starting to split the mound from the plate. You see Happ batting in the shadow and Peralta pitching still in the sun. 3-0 pitch. That's ball 4, a leadoff walk issued by Freddie Peralta.
The batter, the second baseman.
I don't know how much longer Craig Counsell is going to let him pitch. It's just been frustrating for him. He's issued some walks, and when he's thrown the ball in the zone, most of the hitters have squared the ball up well. He's given up 2 home runs. 4 runs total. That pitch misses outside to Daniel Descalzo. Peralta working quickly now. 1-0 pitch. That's down low, counts 2-0. Hit in the air toward left center field. That's dropping quickly. Braun dives. He can't make the play. Happ was halfway between first and second, so he's able to make it into second. That'll be ruled a hit.
The pitcher, number 62, Jose Quintana.
I mean, it's a great effort by Braun to try to make that play, but he couldn't secure it. And with that, Craig Counsell will come out of the Brewers dugout. Peralta pitches into the fourth inning, give him 3+ official innings, but can't pitch out of this one, and he leaves with runners on base. 4 earned runs in already.
Your attention, please.
And here comes Corbin Burnes out of the Brewers bullpen.
Number 39.
In 23 games, he has a record of 3-0 and an ERA of 6.67. Well, he'll be tasked with eating up some innings in this game. Peralta got through 3. Now Burnes coming into an intense situation, first and second, nobody out, and Quintana batting in a bunt situation. He fouls that pitch off. Quintana struck out in his first at bat in the second inning, batting here for the second time. And this is a sacrifice situation. Happ's on second, Descalzo's on first. Quintana shows bunt, pulls back, counts 1-1. One ball, one strike pitch. Bunt shown, and it's popped up. Caught by Eric Sogard, the third baseman. That's the first out. Sacrifice unsuccessful.
Now batting, the third baseman, Chris.
That'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Chris Bryant. He homered in his first at bat. He singled in his second. Batting for the third time in inning 4. And he takes upstairs, counts 1-0. Bryant not too well hitting with runners in scoring position this season, just a .217 average. Counts 1-1. Burnes throwing in the mid-90s. He just came into the game. The book not officially closed on starter Freddie Peralta yet. The runners on base are still his responsibility. On the ground left side, that's a foul ball, and the count is 1-2. Burnes gets ahead. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase that pitch outside. That's the first time Bryant's got out in this game, and that's Burnes' first strikeout.
Number 44, Anthony Rizzo.
And with 2 outs, Anthony Rizzo to come up to the plate. Rizzo's 0 for 1. He got on base by walking in his last plate appearance. And he got ahead of that pitch, fouls it off. The count's 0-1. Ian Happ's on second base. He walked to begin this inning. Daniel Descalzo's on first. He singled. The Cubs with another opportunity to push across runs. Nothing in one pitch. That's outside. Counts even at 1. Rizzo batting .224 with runners in scoring position this season. Outside, counts 2-1. Corbin Burnes recorded both outs of this inning. Freddie Peralta let the 2 runners on base. That's too low. The count's 3-1, and Javier Baez would bat next. Hitters count for Rizzo. 3 balls, 1 strike. In the air to right center field. That'll fall, and that's going to split the gap. Ian Happ will score from second base. Kane plays it, and they're sending Descalzo around. The relay is held. Keston Hiura kept the ball in his hand. Advancing to second is Anthony Rizzo. 2-run score on an RBI double by Anthony Rizzo. It's 6-0 Cubs. Hiura didn't relay that ball in. That allowed Descalzo to score easily, so the book officially closed on Freddie Peralta. Now he's given up 6 earned runs in his outing through 3+ innings. Rizzo now the responsibility of Burnes, whose book opens up. Here's Javier Baez. Baez is 0 for 2. There's the 0-1 pitch.
Nope.
That's just a bit high. The count's even 1-1. It's been consistent that pitchers haven't been getting the top part of the zone in this game. It made Peralta frustrated when he was out on the mound, and Burns giving a look of frustration after that pitch. 1-1. Down low, blocked by Pena. Rizzo's going to try to go. Well, Pena kept it in front of him, but the ball bounced halfway between the mound and the plate. That allowed Rizzo to advance. That'll be scored a wild pitch. Yeah, just bounced too far out in front of him. Yeah, Burns had a better chance of getting Rizzo than Pena did, but Rizzo able to advance. Wild pitch thrown, so now Rizzo on third. Baez ahead in the count. 2 balls, 1 strike. Outside counts 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike. Ooh, man. 95 right past Baez, and that runs the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Got him swinging. Nice breaking ball by Burns, and that ends the top of the 4th. However, the Cubs got a couple more runs thanks to an Anthony Rizzo 2-run double. After 3.5 innings, it's the Cubs 6 and the Brewers 0. This is Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. The Brewers will send the top of the order up to start this 4th inning. Eric Sogard, Lorenzo Cain, and Christian Yelich. Sogard struck out in the first inning. He's now 0 for 8 in the series. That's ball 1. So the Cubs and Brewers are the only team today, or the only teams today from the NL Central that are playing each other. The rest of the NL Central teams are playing teams from the NL West. The Cardinals are playing the Diamondbacks today. The Padres are playing the Reds. And the Pirates are playing the Giants. Two ball, no strike pitch. That's a strike, counts 2-1. This is game 3 of a 3-game series as well. The Brewers won on Friday by a score of 4-3. Then the Cubs won yesterday by a score of 5-2. So this is the rubber match. And right now the Cubs are winning by a large margin, 6-0. Strike 3, and Sogard goes down on strikes again. Jose Quintana throwing well.
Now batting.
Gets another strikeout here, and we're going to look at the last 4 strikeouts. There's Arcia going down on strikes. Excuse me, that was Pena. This is Arcia. There's Freddie Peralta. Look at that pitch. Well placed, and then there's Sogard striking out. A well-placed pitch. And even if Sogard hadn't have swung by our tracker there, that ball was in the zone. Here comes Lorenzo Cain. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out back in the first inning. The Brewers having trouble with the bats early. And Freddie Peralta, the starter, gave up 6 earned runs through 3 innings pitched, 3+ innings pitched more specifically. Nothing in 1 pitch. On the ground right side, under the glove of Anthony Rizzo, and bobbled for a second by Jason Hayward, but he throws well into Baez, who tags Cain out.
Now batting, right fielder, Christian Yelich.
Well, Hayward has always been known for his defense. He slips up there. Cain tries to be aggressive, but Hayward has quite the arm for a right fielder. And gets Cain out at second. Now here's Christian Yelich. So we'll see what that was scored. That's still pending whether that was a hit or an error. But if it was a hit, then Quintana's perfect game. Well, his perfect game's over anyway, but the no-hitter might still be intact. We'll check on that, though, when the half inning ends. Yelich down on the count, no balls and 2 strikes. But the perfect game for Quintana is gone for certain, because Kane was able to reach first base. But he got out at second. He's still on pace, facing the minimum amount of hitters. Got him swinging. Another great pitch by Quintana. No runs for the Brewers in that half inning, and that was scored a hit. So no-hitter for Quintana today, but he's still throwing well. It's 6-0. The Cubs lead going into the fifth. This is a presentation of Major League Baseball's virtual network. My name is Nicholas Callis, and this game both literally and figuratively brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I mean, they're sponsoring this game, but they're also literally bringing it to you because we wouldn't be able to play these simulations if it weren't for such the great work of all those MLB The Show 20 developers. On the ground toward the middle, but Schwarber was shifted. So he's out. And that's one quick out to start the fifth inning. There's Freddie Peralta's scoreline. A lot of sixes, 6 earned runs on 6 hits. Through 3+ innings pitched. Walked only a couple batters and struck out 3. He was throwing pitches in the zone. The Cubs were just capitalizing on opportunities to score. Here comes Wilson Contreras. He homered in his first at-bat and then walked the second time he came up to the plate. He takes strike 1. The count's no balls and 1 strike. Contreras has 9 home runs. That's good for second on the team. Close to double digits after hitting his 9th home run of the season back in the first inning. Contreras is responsible for half of the runs that have scored in this game. He has 3 RBIs. Line into left center field. Base hit. And he'll take the turn and head for second. Throw in by Ryan Braun, and into second base with a 1-out double is Wilson Contreras. He is now 2 for 2. And I made a mistake. He didn't walk in his last plate appearance. He had a sacrifice fly. But nonetheless, he's been playing well in this game. His second hit puts him on second base, and with 1 out is Jason Hayward. Hayward flew out to left in his most recent at-bat and takes ball 1 there from Corbin Burns. Hayward, ever since joining the Cubs, hasn't produced well with his bat. He's still been a great defender, but he's had trouble staying consistent as a hitter.
2 balls, no strike.
There's been some speculation and theories and opinions around that Hayward was one of the worst contracts signed by any major league team in the history of baseball. That's just because he hasn't been producing like the hitter he was in his younger days. Pops out there. He's now 0 for 3 as Sogart makes the play. And now there are 2 outs here in the top of the fifth. And with that, Ian Happ will come to the plate. First pitch, swing and a miss, counts 0-1. Ian Happ, a switch hitter, batting from the left side. Happ and Contreras are tied for the league lead, or not for the league lead, for the team lead in home runs. They each have 9. Outside counts even at 1. Line drive left field. Braun he misstepped for his second, but he's able to play it. And the top of the fifth inning is over. The Cubs get no runs on a hit and leave 1 runner on base in that half inning. Going to the bottom of the fifth, the Cubs lead the Brewers 6-0. There's Heidi Watney, and unfortunately we can't tell what she's saying because her microphone hasn't worked all season, at least from me broadcasting. She responds to Matt Vasgersian and Dan Plesac and Mark DeRosa, but not to me, which... oh, well. But there's a shot at Craig Counsell. His team's down 6-0. Coming into the bottom of the fifth inning. They just got their first hit last inning. But Quintana's still facing the minimum amount of hitters. Lorenzo Cain got the hit for the Brewers, tried to extend it into a double, and he got thrown out. Ryan Braun 0 for 1. Lined into right field, and that's a base hit. Hayward will play it off the wall. Braun gets into second base, and he has himself a leadoff double. And it's his 11th double of the season. Perhaps a breakthrough for the Brewers. They've been shut out so far. Nice swing there. Puts a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Here's Keston Hiura. Counts no balls and a strike. Some of the Cubs hitters have gotten their third plate appearances. And the Brewers just cycling through for the second time now. Nothing in one. That's outside. Counts even at one. Here over his last 3 games, batting .375. He made his Major League debut last season and did well enough to earn himself the starting second base job this season, though he was hurt after a couple games to start the year. After coming off the IL, he's been inserted right back into the middle of the order as the second baseman. And the Brewers are needing some help.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
They had the NL Central lead. Then they went on a large losing streak. And the Cardinals caught up with them. So now the Brewers tied for second place, and they're playing the team that's tied with them. Both the Cubs and the Brewers tied for second place with 25 and 28 records.
The first baseman, number 12, Justin.
Quintana gets another strikeout there, and now with 2 outs. That'll bring up Justin Smoke, switch hitter batting from the right side. Swinging a fly ball down the line and left. Schwarber running after it, and he makes the catch in the corner. And now there are 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th.
The catcher, Manny Pena.
And with 2 outs, Manny Pena will come to the plate. Runner in scoring position at second. Ryan Braun led this inning off with a double. Then Quintana got the next 2 hitters out. Hero struck out, Smoke flied out. And now Pena bats. He's down on the count, no balls and a strike. Down low, counts even 1-1. Manny Pena, he's kind of been in and out of a starting role as catcher over the years. Of course, he took a back seat when the Brewers signed Yasmani Grandal. But with Grandal gone now, he's back to being the starter. Hasn't had much consistency with his bat, but he's been a solid enough player to play every day. And the Brewers trusting him to help their team continue to win games. Even count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. On the ground left side, Bryant plays it. Throws to Rizzo, Pena's out at first, and the 5th inning ends. The Brewers get no runs on a hit and a runner stranded in scoring position. After 5 full innings, it's the Cubs 6 and the Brewers 0. Coming into the 6th inning now, the Cubs will send 8-9 hitters to the plate. Daniel Descalzo, Jose Quintana, and Anthony Rizzo. Or excuse me, Chris Bryant, the leadoff hitter for the Cubs.
Nope, that's down.
Rizzo scheduled to bat 4th in this half inning. Descalzo, a draft pick in 2007. Started his career out early with the Cardinals as he pops that pitch up. Hiura makes the play, and that's 1 quick out to start the 6th inning.
Up next for the Cubs, the pitcher, Jose.
And with that, Jose Quintana will come up to the plate. Quintana's 0 for 2, not that that's unexpected. course, he is a pitcher, and he started his career in the American League, so. He does have 2 RBIs, though, this season. As he flares that pitch toward right field. And running it down is Kane, and that's 2 quick outs to start the 6th inning.
The third baseman, Chris Bryant.
And with at the top of the order, coming up to bat, Chris Bryant getting his 4th plate appearance of the game in right now. Bryant homered in his first at-bat, singled in his second, then got out in his third at-bat, so here he is for the 4th time. That pitch misses outside, counts 1-0. Chris Bryant second in the National League in triples. He has 5 on the season. As he lines that one out to Lorenzo Cain, and Corbin Burns makes quick work of the Cubs in the 6th. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. Going to the bottom of the 6th inning, it's the Cubs 6 and the Brewers 0. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. The Brewers will have 8-9 one-hitters coming up to the plate to start the bottom of the 6th inning. Garcia will bat, and then the pitcher spot due up second. And then the top of the order, Eric Sogard due to bat third. Garcia, the shortstop of the Brewers. Here comes the first pitch from Quintana to kick off the 6th. Popped up towards center field. Ian Happ's there. He makes the catch. That's 1 quick out to begin the bottom of the 6th. And we'll see who the Brewers elect to send to the plate.
The pitcher, Corbin Burns. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention.
So coming off the bench for the Brewers is Avisail Garcia.
Number 24, Avisail Garcia.
Garcia just signed in the 2019-2020 offseason, so this past offseason. He's playing for the first time as a member of the Milwaukee Brewers. Former Detroit Tiger, Chicago White Sox. Played for that Tampa Bay Rays team last season that went to the postseason. And now he's playing for the Brewers, although the outfield for the Brewers is crowded, so Garcia is playing a platoon role. But when you have Ryan Braun in left, Lorenzo Cain in center, and Christian Yelich in right, it's hard to find a starting spot on this team. But Garcia has been limited to pinch hitting duties and platooning with Ryan Braun in left field. The count's even 2-2. Hit softly toward the right side, and that will land in foul territory, so the count remains even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Quintana continuing to work. He's been throwing very well in this game today. Well struck ball, but Schwarber able to flag it down. That's out number 2.
Number 7, Eric Sogard.
And Quintana kind of left that pitch over the middle of the plate, and Garcia did square it up, but unfortunately for the Brewers, Schwarber was there, and now there's 2 outs. Back to the top of the order, here's Eric Sogard. Sogard's 0 for 2 out of the leadoff spot. As that pitch is popped into the air toward the left side and foul. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, counts 0-2. Quintana a strike away from pitching 6 scoreless innings. Not to mention his team has given him plenty of insurance. It's 6-0. 0-2 pitch. Line drive into center. That's a base hit. So Sogard extends the inning with his first hit of the afternoon.
The center fielder, number 6, Lorenzo.
Well, there's the scoreline for Quintana. Has given up 3 hits after that single by Sogard. Oh, he hasn't walked anybody. And he hasn't given up any runs yet. That pitch misses, the count's 1-0. Cain, he singled in the 4th inning. His average has been boosted to .312. One of the better contact hitters in the National League this year, though he's not toward the top of the leaderboards. But a 310 average is a 310 average. One and one pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. He was out in front of that pitch.
2 strikes.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Line drive into the left, and that's caught. Not into left. Baez flagged it down at shortstop. And that ends the 6th inning. Jose Quintana gave up a hit, but he's pitched 6 scoreless innings. Going to the 7th, it's the Cubs 6 and the Brewers 0. Here comes Alex Claudio out of the Brewers bullpen. He's played in 33 games. He's pitched in 33 games, yielding a 3-1 record and a .497 earned run average. 2-3-4 hitters scheduled to bat for the Cubs to begin the 7th inning. Anthony Rizzo, Javier Baez, and Kyle Schwarber. Rizzo doubled and netted a couple RBIs in his last at bat. He's also walked. This is his 4th plate appearance. That's foul. Counts 0-1. The Cubs have taxed the Brewers pitching in today's game. Several high-intensity at-bats. And they've come through. They scored 6 runs.
No ball, 2 strikes.
Counts 0-2. There's Ray Black warming up in the Brewers bullpen. No ball, 2-strike pitch. Alex Claudio just came out of the bullpen for the Brewers. On the ground at foul. The count's still 0-2. Claudio is the 3rd pitcher to come out of the Brewers bullpen and pitch in this game. Just outside, counts 1-2. You see there the shadow now encompasses both the mound and the plate. Before it was in the middle of the mound and the plate, but now it's all dark. Line toward right field. Back goes Yelich. He'll play it off the wall. Rizzo trying for second. Yelich throws it right into second base. And it gets away from Arcia, and backing up the throw is Eric Sogard. It's a leadoff double for Anthony Rizzo, his 2nd double of the game.
The batter, number 9, shortstop, Javier Baez.
And you just hear the bat. There are many signs that a hitter squares up a ball. The sound of the bat, the angle the ball travels at. And there's enough evidence. I call that a squared up baseball. He's in scoring position. Nobody out. Here is Javier Baez. Popped into the air right side, but that'll reach the seats. That's foul. So Claudio, the 3rd pitcher for the Brewers in this game. Freddie Peralta was the starter. He pitched into the 4th, but didn't record an out in the 4th. Was replaced by Corbin Burns, who pitched in the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th. Burns wasn't charged with any earned runs. So now Claudio here in the 7th, and oh my goodness, that ball's gone. Baez knew it. Claudio knew it. All the outfielders knew it. And many people in the seats knew it. That's the 3rd home run that the Cubs have hit as a team in today's game, and it is now 8-0. Baez home run number 6 on the year. Watch this again. I mean, I tried to say something, but I was just speechless. That ball was clearly out of the ballpark. Just look at that, a line drive. Look at that arc. That is such a majestic arc. So Claudio coming into the game, he hasn't recorded an out yet. He's given up 2 straight hits, one of which was a home run. That pads the Cubs' lead. It's 8-0. Here's Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber 2 for 3, a couple singles. He also scored when Wilson Contreras hit his home run back in the 1st inning. Bryant homered in the 1st. Wilson Contreras hit a 2-run home run in the 1st, and just there, Javier Baez hit a 2-run home run here in the 7th. This is the rubber match of a 3-game series. But the Cubs continuing to make it likely that they'll come out with a win in this game. Oh, 2 pitch. Hit in the air. Out towards center field. Lorenzo Cain seems to have a play, and he makes it. So Claudio gets an out here in the 7th.
The catcher, number 40, Wilson Contreras.
With one out, Wilson Contreras will come to the plate. He's 2 for 2. He doubled in his most recent at-bat, but he's also hit a home run and hit a sacrifice fly. He has 3 total runs batted in this game. And that's strike 1 to Contreras. Here's the 0-1. On the ground right side. Here's Hira playing it. Throws to Justin Smoke, and that's out number 2. Claudio gets 2 straight outs after giving up 2 runs. Jason Hayward will bat now. 2 outs, bases empty. He's one of a few Cubs hitters that haven't gotten a hit. But several players on this Cubs team are in the starting lineup who have gotten a hit.
Ball in.
Counts 1-0.
Ball 2.
Hayward ahead in the count. And he chops that pitch foul. Claudio left that over the middle of the plate. Counts 2 balls and 1 strike. On the ground left side, he hit it against the shift. And Hayward joins the hit parade. He's trying for 2. Ryan Braun throws it in, and Hira applies the tag. Hayward's out trying to extend that to extra bases. That ends the top of the 7th, but Javier Baez hits this 2-run home run that extends the Cubs' lead. It's 8-0. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. Coming into the bottom of the 7th, the Cubs are leading the Brewers 8-0. 3, 4, 5 hitters due up for the Brewers: Christian Yelich, Ryan Braun, and Keston Hira. I'd also like to give a shout out to a couple of subscribers that are very involved in our productions here at MLB Virtual Network: Eric Letford and Mr. D in the squad.
That's ball 3.
So thank you both for watching, and thank you both for being involved in our network here. We're all just trying to cope with not having a baseball season at the moment, but we appreciate you coming in and using your imaginations to enjoy baseball through our services here. So we thank you, Eric Ledford, Mr. D in the squad, 2 of our top subscribers on the channel.
No, ball 4.
Ball 4, Christian Yelich works a leadoff walk.
The left fielder, number 8.
That's a leadoff base runner for the Brewers, and that'll bring up Ryan Braun. Braun is 1 for 2. He had a double in his last at bat. Quintana's reached 80 pitches now. Might be questionable how much longer he'll go in this game. His first 3 innings were sharp. His second 3, there were some hiccups here and there, but his velocity is continuing to slow down. And he's been giving up more contact. He was lighting up the strike zone and striking out batters earlier on, but now the Brewers seem to be catching on. They're making more contact. We got one of the top saves leaders in baseball, too, Craig Kimbrell, who's in the Cubs bullpen. The Cubs bullpen isn't too strong. But their closer has been lights out this season. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, got him. That's out number 1. Quintana has struck out 9 hitters now.
Now batting, second baseman, Keston.
And with one out, Keston Hero will come to the plate. And he flies that pitch towards center field. Catch made by Ian Happ. And back to first.
The first baseman
Goes Yelich. That's out number 2. So with 2 outs, Justin Smoke will come to the plate. Smoke 0 for 2. That's dropped his average to 209. That's strike 1. The count's no balls and a strike. Quintana might be able to go one more inning, and if David Ross, the manager, decides to, he could throw a complete game in this one. Hasn't given up a run yet. And he could join that long list of NL pitchers that has thrown a complete game shutout this season. He's certainly pitching well enough. He's got 9 strikeouts. And he gets Smoke down on the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Yelich on first base. He walked to begin this inning. Quintana got the next 2 hitters out. Here's the 0-2 to Smoke. That pitch hit softly toward left center field. Happ's not going to be able to run it down, and Yelich with 2 outs broke quickly from first base. He moves from first to third, and Smoke has his first hit of the ball game. Seemed like he got jammed there too. Yeah, look at that low inside pitch. But he flared it into left center field and found some green, and now he's aboard. And the Brewers with an opportunity to score. There's 2 outs. And Manny Pena coming up. Quintana's 90th pitch coming up here. That's too high, counts 1-0. Pena's hitless in 2 at-bats. He has just 1 hit in the series now that has extended 3 games. This is game 3 of a 3-game series, and it's the rubber match. The winner of this game will have sole possession of second place in the NL Central, at least for a day. Both of these teams right now are tied with 25 and 28 records. They're both in second place in the NL Central. They're tied for second place behind the Cardinals. Counts 2-1 on Manny Pena, the catcher of the Brewers. Brewers have been shut out to this point, and Quintana is the starter, and he's been throwing well. Eating up innings, keeping the Brewers scoreless, while his team's offense has given him such a large cushion. It's 8-0. Started right away in the first inning. Chris Bryant hit a solo home run off Freddie Peralta, and then with 2 outs, Wilson Contreras hit a 2-run home run. Pena line drive caught by Justin Smoke. 7 scoreless innings for Jose Quintana. And going to the 8th inning, the Cubs lead the Brewers. 8-0 is the score. This is Major League Baseball's virtual network. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20. And I'm Nicholas Callis. If you're wondering as well, I'm not a robot. I'm not fake. I am a real person. That's the whole point of doing these games here on MLB Virtual Network, is to give you live commentary. So if you enjoy the live commentary and you enjoy following your favorite teams and you enjoy baseball in general, if you enjoy baseball in general, go ahead and subscribe to this channel, MLB Virtual Network. And if you're watching us on Twitter or you're looking for more news on this network, you can follow us on Twitter at VirtualMLB. You get 3 guaranteed games every day on this network, as well as recaps of every game played on every day, standings after every day, and league leaders after every day. So check us out, MLB Virtual Network on YouTube and Virtual MLB on Twitter. Ian Happ strikes out. Alex Claudio pitching in his 2nd inning now, and starts off well, gets Happ to strike out, and Daniel Descalzo coming up to the plate. Descalzo's 1 for 3. He singled and scored earlier on. But our broadcast team here, Matt Vasgersian, Mark DeRosa, and Dan Plezak, do some of the other games, but I'm Nicholas Callis doing this game. And I'll also be here doing the Mets-Braves game that's scheduled to begin at 7:20. So you can look forward to that. An NL East battle.
Inside, ball 2.
We also had a couple NL East teams playing earlier. The Marlins and Nationals played each other, and the Nationals ended up winning. The NL East has been tight this season. The Mets have been the outlier in that division. They haven't been doing too well, but the other four teams have been staying close to each other. There's Daniel Descalzo's second hit of the game. His 8th double of the season puts him in scoring position with 1 out. And now David Ross has some decision-making. Jose Quintana's coming up. He's pitching a shutout to this point. Now you have a runner in scoring position. And Ross isn't the first to make a move. Here comes Craig Counsell out of the dugout for the Brewers. And usually when the manager approaches the home plate umpire, a double switch will be in motion. So let's listen for what the double switch is.
Number 50, Ray Black. Now playing first base and batting 9. Number 32, Brock Holt.
All right, so Justin Smoke got taken out of the game. So Ray Black coming into pitch.
0-1.
And Ray Black is now taking over as the number 6 hitter in the order. The pitcher's spot in general is in the 6th spot now in the order. And Brock Holt is now the first baseman, and he's batting 9th.
0-2 is the count.
And that pending decision David Ross could have made, well, now you know Jose Quintana most likely to come out for the bottom of the 8th inning as he's batting here in the top of the 8th. Might not be a poor idea to let the bullpen rest either if you're the Cubs with an 8-run lead. Keep all your power arms fresh. There's certainly a lot of flexibility that the Cubs have now, scoring 8 runs in 7 innings. They haven't scored yet in this inning. That pitch has popped up and foul. Count still 1-2. Quintana, despite being a pitcher, I mean, he's milked out some at-bats in this game. He's been disciplined like that, but he's also been fouling pitches off and not going down lightly, which causes the Brewers' arms to get taxed. Line toward right field. That softly hit. Yelich can't make the play. Quintana's got a base hit. Descalzo will score from second base. That's an RBI double for Jose Quintana, his 3rd RBI of the season. It's 9-0 Cubs. Quintana helping himself out and adds to his masterful day. Not just pitching well anymore, but he has himself a hit, an extra base hit at that, and an RBI. So Quintana on second base. Here's Chris Bryant. Line drive right field. Yelich will play that on a hop and get it in quickly. Cutting it off is Holt. Back-to-back singles.
The first baseman,
Or excuse me, those aren't back-to-back singles. But 3 straight hits for the Cubs. Put runners on the corners. Here comes Anthony Rizzo. 1 out, runners on the corners, and he takes strike 1. Rizzo, a couple doubles. He also has 2 RBIs in this game. And he scored himself. He's now 3 for 10 in the series. And 2 of those 3 hits have come today. Nothing in 1 pitch. That's outside, counts even at 1. Well, the Cubs got the lead in the first inning. There hasn't been much pressure on them at all this game. And that's lessened the pressure on Jose Quintana, who's been pitching in a masterful performance. He has 9 strikeouts. David Ross let him hit in the 8th. He didn't get replaced, which means he's likely to come out for the bottom of the 8th inning, but he also netted himself an extra base hit and an RBI. Anthony Rizzo gets ahead in the count. 3 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch from Ray Black. Line left side, but foul, and the count's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. There have been few Cubs hitters who haven't gotten a hit in this game. They've just been on point with their bats. Soft line drive. Arcia can't make the play. Quintana tagged at third. He's going to try to score. Throw in from Braun is up the line. Quintana scores. That's an RBI for Anthony Rizzo. His third run batted in of the game. It's now 10-0. The Cubs lead it. Chris Bryant advances from first to second on the play. And even on poor swings, the Cubs have found a way to get hits. Rizzo got jammed on that pitch, but it fell safely into the outfield. And now Baez lines that into left center field, and this game getting out of hand. Bryant will score from second. Rizzo moves from first to third and into second base with yet another RBI in this game is Javier Baez. Baez homered earlier in the game and now gets some more. Or he gets another run batted in on that double. Now here comes JP Feyereisen. Feyereisen was awarded National League Rookie of the Month in April. He started to struggle, though, in May. He's facing Kyle Schwarber. One out, runners in scoring position. Anthony Rizzo on third base, Javier Baez at second. Schwarber known for his power and known for his success against right-handed pitching. And Feyereisen falls behind 2-0. Wouldn't be the worst idea to put Schwarber on with a free base, but Wilson Contreras has had a hot bat as well in this game, so there's really no escape now for Brewers pitching. The Cubs have just been on all game. Contreras on deck. Schwarber well ahead in the count, 3 balls and no strikes. And that's a strike called. Schwarber anticipating that pitch was out of the strike zone, but it was not. According to the home plate umpire, the count's 3-1. Schwarber still ahead in the count, 3 balls, 1 strike. Hit in the air towards center field. Lorenzo Cain gets under it, tagging at third base is Anthony Rizzo. He's going to try to score. Cain's throw into Holt, who cuts it off and holds it. That's a sacrifice fly for Kyle Schwarber. The 12th run scored by the Cubs in this game. It's 12-0. 2 outs, top of the 8th. Look at David Ross. He couldn't look happier. Corey Knebel and Brent Suter in the bullpen now for the Brewers, But here's Wilson Contreras batting for the Cubs. 2 outs. Javier Baez in scoring position at second base. Contreras has a couple of hits in 3 at-bats. He had a 2-run home run in the first inning and a sacrifice fly earlier on. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's way outside. Pena can't get a glove on it. Baez will advance from second to third, and that's a wild pitch from JP Feyereisen. So more going wrong for the Brewers here. Contreras ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes.
Ball 3.
Well, with every pitch and with every run the Cubs score, it seems that Cubs are more and more likely to go on and win this game. Three balls and no strikes. Swing and a miss.
3 balls, 1 strike.
The count's 3-1. There's a couple times now in this game that Contreras has swung at a 3-0 pitch. It was a little more dangerous when the game was closer in score, but now with a 12-0 lead, why not have a green light? 3-1 pitch. Upstairs, that's ball 4. And another base runner on for the Cubs in this inning.
Now batting, right fielder.
The Cubs have scored 4 runs in this 8th inning. And even Jose Quintana, the pitcher, netted himself a hit and an RBI. Jason Hayward will come up to bat. 2 outs, runners on the corners. Hit in the air toward left center field. Ryan Braun running after it. And he makes the catch. And mercifully, the top of the 8th inning is over. The Cubs get 4 more runs, which adds to their already large total. It's 12-0 going into the bottom of the 8th. Well, you're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, and depending on whether you like the Cubs or the Brewers, you're either ecstatic or very frustrated and or upset. It's 12-0. The Cubs lead it. I'm Nicholas Callis. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20. Orlando Arcia to lead off. Jose Quintana still on the mound. So it's Arcia, then the pitcher's spot. No, it's not. I correct myself. There was a double switch last inning. So it's Arcia scheduled to lead off. Then you have Brock Holt, the number 9 hitter now, and then it'll go back to the top of the order for Eric Sogard. That's outside, counts 1-2. Jose Quintana has struck out 9 to this point. And evidently by the Brewers, 0 on the board. He is throwing a shutout. Popped up and fouled. The count's 2-2. Two-two pitch coming. On the ground right side, there's Daniel Descalzo. He throws to Anthony Rizzo. That's 1 out.
Now batting, the first baseman, Brock.
So with 1 out, Brock Holt coming to the plate, and Quintana's reached 100 pitches. Brock Holt, this is his first plate appearance of the game. He came in the middle of the 8th inning as a defensive replacement as part of a double switch. Ray Black came in to pitch, so the pitcher spot is now in the 6th spot in the order. And Brock Holt took over at first base for Justin Smoke. And Holt was put in the 9th spot in the order. Holt was a starter on this Brewers team when several players got injured. Jed Jorko still on the injured list, and Keston Hiura was on the injured list shortly after the season began. So Holt was the starting second baseman. And he played well. You see there a .278 average. That's not just from pinch hitting. He was a starter for most of April and to start May. But he's been reduced to a bench and utility role because Hiura's back in the lineup. He lines out there to Jason Hayward, and there are now 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th.
The third baseman, number 7, Eric.
So with 2 outs, Eric Sogard will come to the plate. Sogard's 1 for 3. He's singled in his most recent at-bat. One of just 4 hits that Quintana has given up. Sogard lines out to Bryant, and the 8th inning is over. Last inning of regulation coming up. It's 12-0. The Brewers trail the Cubs. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. Heading to the 9th inning, Ian Happ, Daniel Descalzo, and Jose Quintana scheduled to bat for the Cubs. Cubs leading 12-0.
0-1.
Well, checking out our live chat here, Rick Bradford, I'm with you. I don't like either one of these teams. That's what he said. Growing up as a Pirates fan, I'll stay neutral while announcing the game, but secretly not a big fan of any other NL Central team as well because I grew up watching the Pirates. And Eric Ledford doesn't like the Cubs. Well, I'm sorry about your luck in this game. That pitch hit towards center field. That's going to hit off the wall. Lorenzo Cain plays it, gets it in, but that's a double for Ian Happ. I think almost everybody in the Cubs order now has gotten a hit after that double. Yeah, and I mean, when I say everybody, that includes Jose Quintana. All 9 starters for the Cubs in this game have gotten a hit. And that is rare but impressive. Strike 1 from Daniel Descalso. Descalso's 2 for 4. He's doubled, singled, and scored a couple times in this one. Oh, the Cardinals, Eric Ledford. Oh, that's right, you're a Cardinals fan. I remember hearing that. Well, that's all right. They're a respectable team. I like what they've been doing over the last couple years. Bolt flags that one down. That's played out at first. Is Daniel Descalso, and that'll bring up the number 9 spot. Well, Eric Ledford, good news for you that the Cardinals are in first place right now in the NL Central. So,
Number 7, Victor Caratini.
So Jose Quintana's done. David Ross has taken him out of the game. Victor Caratini will come up to bat. Quintana struck out 9 hitters over 8 innings and didn't give up a run. I'm sure a lot of people would have liked to see him get the complete game shutout, but in a 12-0 game, he's already thrown over 100 pitches, so you can see this being a wise move by the Cubs and David Ross, the manager. Swing and a miss, the count's even 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Caratini, a switch hitter batting from the left side. That's called a strike. Bottom part of the zone, the count's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hit in the air towards center field. Kane running after it. He's got momentum. He makes the catch. Tagging at third, trying to score. Pena didn't tag him. Happ scores from third. Oh, that was a close play. But Happ slid. He ducked around the tag and ended up scoring. So that's the 13th run of the game for the Cubs. Chris Bryant coming to the plate for his 6th plate appearance. He's 3 for 5 in this game. He's hit a home run. He started the Cubs scoring with a solo home run in the first. No ball, 1 strike pitch coming to the Cubs' third baseman. Line drive toward left field. There's Ryan Braun. He makes the catch. The top of the 9th inning is over, but that didn't prevent the Cubs from scoring again. They got a run on a sacrifice fly. Last chance for the Brewers, though they've got a tough task ahead. They're down 13-0.
Your attention, please.
Here's Ryan Tepera. As mentioned before, Jose Quintana got taken out of the game. He was relieved by a pinch hitter. Victor Caratini came in to pinch hit. He's the one that hit the sacrifice fly. But Quintana went 8 full innings, didn't give up a run, struck out 9 Brewers in his start. And certainly not a safe situation for Ryan Tepera, who comes in to pitch. But his job is to get the final 3 outs of this game, and he's got a large cushion to do that. Want to note to Lorenzo Cain. He's leading off. 2, 3, 4 hitters due up for the Brewers. Lorenzo Cain, Christian Yelich, and Ryan Braun scheduled to bat. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Broken bat. Look out. That headed right back toward Tepera. Fortunately, it avoided him, and no injuries from splintered bats, at least that time around. But Kane gets another bat, counts even 1-1. 2-1's the count on the Brewers center fielder. This is game 3 of a 3-game series. It is the rubber match, but the Cubs came out scoring early and really just patted on the runs. 2-1 pitch. Counts even 2-2, and At this point in the season, it is a rather crucial game. The Brewers and Cubs tied for second place in the NL Central. They each have 25 and 28 records.
I got 3 and 2.
But the Cubs more than likely to come out with a win in this game. More than likely to secure second place heading into tomorrow. 3-2 pitch. Kane keeps the plate appearance alive. Count still full. The Cubs will have an off day tomorrow, and then they'll start a homestand. They'll be playing the Marlins in a 3-game series. 3-2 pitch. Hit in the air, but foul. Count still full, 3-2. The Brewers will have an off day tomorrow, and they'll finish up their homestand with a 3-game series against the Giants starting on Tuesday. Soft ground ball, right side. There's Anthony Rizzo, steps on the bag, and that's out number 1. And with that, we'll take a look at Jose Quintana's scoreline. Walked 1 batter, struck out 9. Didn't give up a run. 4 hits through 8 innings pitched. Here's Christian Yelich. Christian Yelich is second in the National League in RBIs with 39. He's right behind Paul Goldschmidt of the Cardinals. Paul Goldschmidt has 41. But Yelich didn't really have any opportunities today to cash in runs.
That's ball 2.
Just been a tough task for the Brewers to hit in this game. There are a couple batters that squared up balls, but they usually ended in somebody's mitt. Just line drives that were caught by infielders. Their balls squared up and hit right at outfielders. Sometimes that's how it goes, and the pitching staff really didn't keep the Brewers in this game at all. It's a 13-run lead for the Cubs. Ryan Tepera pitching in his first inning. He came out of the bullpen to start the 9th. And he falls behind Yelich, 3-1. Lorenzo Cain began this half inning off by grounding out. And now Yelich has a hitter's count. It's 3-1. 3-ball, 1-strike pitch. Here it comes. That's strike 2. That finds the lower part of the zone. The count's full, 3-2. Hey, don't forget as well, coming up at 7:20, it's an NL East battle between the Mets and the Braves. You can catch that here on Major League Baseball's virtual network. And don't forget a recap of all 30 teams, the standings of all 6 divisions, and league leaders will be presented to you sometime later tonight after all 3 of the games featured on this channel are played. So check that out sometime later tonight or early tomorrow morning.
The left fielder, number 8.
There's Yelich. He has a single. He hit that ball through the shift. And so a runner aboard for the Brewers. 1 out. Here's the cleanup hitter, Ryan Braun. He's 1 for 3. He doubled in the 5th inning. And he hits a line drive into left. Back-to-back hits for the Brewers. Yelich moves to second base, and Braun's aboard at first with a single.
The bat, the second baseman.
He kind of had to pull off that pitch, too. It was veering toward the outside, but he got the right part of the bat on the ball. That'll bring up Keston Hiura. He is 0 for 3. You see there he has just 25 at-bats this season. Already talked about his injuries. He got hurt in early April. Just came off the injured list around last week. It's also the last week of May, by the way. This is the last full week of May. Then you'll have next Sunday, May the 31st, and then by Monday it'll be June. Summertime's coming along with 80-degree weather, sunshine, and lots of baseball. And I realize not really lots of baseball, but play pretend and use your imagination here with Major League Baseball's virtual network. 3 guaranteed games a day for you here. This is the second of our 3 featured games. The Braves and Mets playing each other at 7:20. And I'll be on the call for that game as well. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tepera's pitch. Line drive right field and foul. The count remains 1-2. Hit in the air toward right field by Hura. There's Jason Hayward. Makes the catch. Yelich tagged at second, but he didn't advance anywhere. And then Ryan Braun went halfway between first and second, but he retreats back to first. So now there are 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth, and the last chance for the Brewers. Should be a pinch hitter. Yeah, and here comes Omar Narvaez.
Pinch hitting for the Brewers. Number 10, Omar.
Omar Narvaez, a platoon catcher with Manny Pena. He didn't start this game because Quintana was a lefty on the mound, so Craig Counsell played matchup.
Nope.
With Pena being a right-handed hitter, but now you have Narvaez, who's a left-handed hitter. Matchup works for him because there's a righty on the mound now. Narvaez, former Chicago White Sox and Seattle Mariner, playing in his first season with the Brewers. He takes strike one.
I got 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yelich is on second, Braun's on first. 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. The Cubs up 13 runs. Ooh, fouled off. Contreras got hit. But he seems to be okay, unfazed, really. Counts 1 ball and 2 strikes. Inside, the count's even. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Ryan Tepera looking to close out the shutout that Jose Quintana paved the way for. That runs the count full now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And a slight advantage now for the Brewers as both Yelich and Braun should be running on the pitch. Yelich is on second, Braun's on first. Narvaez, the pinch hitter, up to the plate. 3-2 pitch, runners go. And a line drive. Bryant bobbled the ball. He's forced to throw it to first, and Rizzo flags it down. He got up the ladder, and that's an out at first of Narvaez, and this ball game is over. It was decided early. Jose Quintana got the win. He struck out 9, pitched 8 scoreless innings, and Ryan Tepera, who came out in the ninth, secures the shutout for the Cubs, who won by a large margin. The final score 13-0. Jose Quintana earns himself the win. Freddie Peralta got the loss. No save in a game that was won by this large of a number. Standings right now in the NL Central shift as well. The Cubs improved to 26-28. And they are now in second place in the NL Central. The Brewers fall to 25-29. And they're in third place now in the NL Central. So a game that has some major impacts in the NL Central. The Cubs win the rubber match of this series. They took 2 of 3 from the Brewers in this weekend series. Each team will have an off day tomorrow before starting their own 3-game series later on in the week. Well, my name's Nicholas Callis. You've been watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. Stay tuned for the Mets and Braves game. That'll be coming up at 7:20, and I'll be on the call for that game as well. But from Miller Park, final score of this game, the Cubs 13 and the Brewers 0.